What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel, and today we are reviewing something that you guys have been asking, and that is my DPE Prank-Kids Deck profile. So definitely this deck is amazing. Not only have it taught me a few locals, but it has been doing very well, especially online, with me having a record of being undefeated so far on DB. This is actually an amazing deck, and especially it is quite competitive if you are planning of taking it to locals and if you are going against the higher meta and tier decks that are out there right now. So starting first, we have 40 cards in the main, 15 in extra, and 15 inside. So we're going to just put these two onto the side, and we're going to start with the main. So starting first, we have 3 fancies, 3 dropsies, 3 lampsies, 2 roxies, and that's it for the Prank-Kids monsters. And we're only playing 2 roxies. I know, not 3 or 1. And 2 is actually quite well because it does have the draw engine that you kind of need in this deck, because this deck is very control based, and the thing that I love about it doesn't focus on doing a lot of meow meow plays. So there's many times that you won't really do your usual meow meow plays, or you won't even play Pandemonium as well. So this is something to keep in mind when you are looking at this deck profile. And if you are planning of playing this deck, those are key things that you have to know. Then we have the hand traps with our 2 Nibiru's, 2 Ash, 2 effect veilers. Now the reason why all of our hand traps are at 2 is because the deck does a lot of deck thinning. So there's draw power, there's the Prank-Kids. So playing it at 3, any of them, you start breaking because it's very easy to get multiple of them, and 2 is quite perfect, and you're going to see why with a few other cards why it's so good. Then we have our Destiny Hero monsters with his Celestial and Dasher. Finally, we have our spells, starting with 3 Cross Out Designator. And this is one key reason why everything is at 2. Because 1, we do have multiple different hand trap as well. And with Cross Out, it just gives us more options also. So Cross Out is definitely a really good card in this deck, and it helps us with a lot of plays. So then we have 3 Triple Tactics. Then we have 3 Fusion Destiny for the Enforcer. And then for our stun, we have 2 Mystic Mind, because we could actually do a lot of plays with Enforcer, and with the Prank-Kids, we could do the Infinity Loop combo as well. So Mystic Mind is quite good in this deck. And I do apologize for the glare. I just noticed that there is a bit of a glare. Sorry about that. Then for Prank-Kids cards, we have 2 Prank-Kids Place, 1 Prank-Kids Pandemonium. Like I said, believe it or not, you are not using Pandemonium as much as you think. You are very rarely using Pandemonium in this deck. Your focus is actually not even to use Pandemonium. It's very rare that you actually do. So this is why this deck is built in this specific ways, is that your combos are not as you usually do. And it's very different, especially that your key cards are going to be Fusion Destiny or Thunder Dragon Fusion instead. Then we have the 1 Prank-Kids Pranks. Next we have Terraforming, Thunder Dragon Fusion, Instant Fusion, Called by the Grave, and finally our 2 traps, which is Infinite Imperms. Next we're going to go with the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we have our 2 Prank-Kids Doo-Doos. Then we have our 1 Prank-Kids Meow Meow, 1 Bow Wow, 1 Rip Roaring, 1 Link Spider, 1 Predaplant, and then 1 access code Talker. Next, we have our fusions, which is going to be 2 Battle Butlers, 2 Rocket Rides, 1 Weather Washer, 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict, which is quite good, especially with Instant Fusion, and finally, our Destiny Hero, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. So let's go into the side. So starting off, we have 2 Drow and Lockbirds, and it's the same reason as well. We don't really want to play any 3-ofs in this deck. The only ones that we want to really keep as 3-of is the Crossout and the Tactics. So those are the only ones that we want to keep as a minimum. And for the side, it's going to be the same concept as well. So we're going to have 2 Drow and Lockbirds. Then we have 2 Artifact Lancias, 2 Forbidden Droplets, 2 Cosmic Cyclones. And then this is the weird part because it's going to be 1 Twin Twister and 1 Lightning Storm. Now this is going to be considered as 2-of because the reason why we are playing 1 of each is because, yes, we could use her also, but the main focus of this is actually depending on what you're siding or how you're going first. You might actually want to put these in just so you have it as more of a cross-out designator target and not really for the use of it. So this is where it gets a bit weird and why it is actually really good of just playing 1 each. Then we have Harpy's Feather Duster. Then we're going with the traps. There can only be 1. We're playing with 2. And finally, we're playing 1 Imperial Order because, believe it or not, like I said, the Pandemonium and our usual plays, we're not doing so often. So Imperial Order is actually a really good card starting first. So if you are planning of starting first and you play it in, you can actually do a lot of plays and play Imperial Order and it doesn't affect you at all. You could do your Battle Butler setup, the Enforcer, everything, Imperial Order, and you don't have to worry about anything. So it's actually quite good inside at 1. And then finally, we have Skill Drain. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, well, what are these combos that are so different? Well, we're going to show you right away because there's 2 different combos that you need to know of how the deck works. One of them is if you start with either Fusion Destiny or a Thunder Dragon Fusion with any prank kids, you can actually create a really good board. And also with just the prank kids, you can still make a really good board as well. So we're going to show you our options that we could do with the deck. Okay guys, so the first combo that we're going to show you is all what you need is Thunder Dragon Fusion and 1 any prank kit, and then the other 3 cards are irrelevant. So starting first, we're going to go with Lampsies. Link it for Meow Meow, use Lampsies, special summon the Fancies, link it again. For a Doe, chain 1, chain 2. So we're going to set pranks, special summon Dropsies. Doe is going to add the Pandemonium. Next, we are actually going to link again. Now, the reason why we're doing so is because we are actually trying to deck thin as much as possible to get our hand traps. So, we're going to link again, use Dropsies to special summon Roxy's. Okay, now we're going to use Doe's effect to target the pranks and the fancies. So then we're going to activate pranks, discarding to get our token, link them for a Bow Wow Wow Bark, and use Roxy's effect. So we're going to banish, draw, and then special. So special fancies, because that is the one that we don't really want to draw out of all the prank kids. So fancy it is. Then we're going to link for Verte. Now the reason why we did the Doe and the Bow Wow is because with pranks at the end of the turn, we are actually going to return just the Link monsters. So then we have higher chance of getting the hand traps. Next, we're going to just activate our Thunder Dragon Fusion, which is going to put back the pranks. So we're going to just put these back. Special summon Battle Butler and defense, guys, because you have to remember Lightning Storm is still a very good card. So that would kind of cripple everything if you left everything in attack mode. Now we're going to use Predator Plant. So we're going to send Fusion Destiny. And then the materials, Special, Enforcer. And then finally, end phase, Prank-Kids Pranks. We're going to put back the Bow Wow and the 2 duos just so we could draw an extra card. And that is the first setup of how to get Enforcer and Battle Butler with the Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now I'm going to show you the setup, how to do it with the Fusion Destiny. So now we're going to show you how to do the combo when you start with Fusion Destiny and a Prank Kid. Now it's very similar, pretty much the exact same thing, but it's more the lines of the 1-card combo that you're usually familiar with. So starting first with Lampsies, Link It for Meow Meow, Special Fancies, Link, Do1, Fancies 2, Send Pranks, Special Summon Dropsies, Search, Pandemonium, we're going to Link again, get the Do, activate the Dropsies, get the Roxies. Now the reason why we're doing this is the exact same reason for deck thinning. Very important in this combo and especially with this deck. So we're going to go use those effect. Just get these 2. Activate Pranks, discard, get token, Link, Bow Wow, Roxy, banish a card, draw a card, Special Summon Fancies. And then all what we need to do next is just play Fusion Destiny, which is going to send her to Fusion Summon. Now you can see already we're going to set the Pandemonium, and this is pretty much the only time that you really use Pandemonium, and that is you're going to set it so as soon as it's your opponent's main phase 1, you're going to try to do the Battle Butler, do Bow Wow first to tribute it to add the Lampsies and the Dropsies, so then you can play Pandemonium and make the Battle Butler. Now for what to return with Pranks though, because we do want deck thin. So on your end phase, you're going to choose the 2 duos and the Roxy, because we're going to add the Lampsies and the Dropsies. Meow Meow we're going to most likely use for Butler, and the Fancies is actually in case if we need it for more of a Thunder Dragon Fusion or other extra materials as well. So we're going to just return these 2, 3, and then draw. Now we're going to show you the combo of how to get 2 Battle Butler and a Phoenix Enforcer. Okay guys, for this combo it's very easy. If we have Fusion Destiny and Thunder Dragon Fusion and a few prank kits, we could definitely do this. But with the draw engine in this deck and how the deck really thins out really fast, it is very possible to do this with other cards as well. But the most simplest way is if you have 3 prank kits, as long as it's not 3 of all of them being the same prank kits, you can do this combo very easily. So 2 Lampsies and 1 Dropsy is just perfect. So we're going to normal summon Lampsies, Link It, Meow Meow, Dropsies is going to do special. We're going to Link, do 1, Fancies 2. So send, special Dropsies, do is going to add. There we go. Now we're going to Link, for do, Dropsies, special. Okay. Now we're going to use Do's effect. We're going to add the Pranks and the Fancies. Now this is why we only need extra prank kits, because as soon as we summon or activate our pranks, we're going to discard the Fancies, get our token, Link It for Bow Wow, And we have to banish a Prank Kid with Roxy for this combo to work. So we're going to banish a Lampsies. So we're going to just draw a random card. Doesn't matter what it is. And we're going to special. So special Fancies. Okay, so the combo is going up all nicely. So now, all what we have to do is quite simple. Use Thunder Dragon Fusion. Because Thunder Dragon Fusion isn't just your graveyard, it's also banished too. So we're going to pick the Lampsies. We're going to pick the Dropsies and the Fancies. So all this is going to be shuffled into the deck. And we're going to special summon our Battle Butler. Next, we're going to go and use our Fusion Destiny. So we're going to send the Dasher and Celestial to special summon Enforcer. So all that is done, and then all what we need to do is just set the Pandemonium. And this is good because on our opponent's turn, we could actually just return the Lampsies and the Roxies, and we're all set. Now, if you want to use pranks, you have two options. You don't use it on your end phase, or if you do, you could actually return the Do and the Meow Meow, because no matter what, you're going to have two Battle Butler and Enforcer. So that's still two Regekis that you're going to have on your opponent's turn. And you're going to have a Roxy in your hand. So you have two options. If you want to follow up play with Meow Meow, just in case, you could definitely do that. Me, I would actually do that. I would use the pranks to return these three, just so we could draw a random card. So then when it's our opponent's turn, we could use the Bow Wow. Return the Roxy and the Lampsies, and then activate Pandemonium. Special the Butler, and we could use the effects of the Prank Kids if we like. Use Dropsies and Lampsies as well. But no matter what, we still have Roxy in hand and then Meow Meow in our extra deck still. So we still have a lot of follow-up plays for next turn. But it's really up to you if you really think that you need 3 pops with Butler or just 2 and then the Enforcer. So it's really up to you how much interruption you feel like you need. And also depending what your opponent's playing, maybe you might not need that many interruptions. Maybe if they're running more back row control, you might not necessarily need that extra Battle Butler popping. So it's really up to you on what you decide to do. And that's it for deck profile and combos. Now I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.